little low again, Brian. Stella's out with an injury. He broke his collarbone.
Alrighty. We've been live for a minute. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the B&R Racing Network. Here tonight as the AMS drivers take on Richmond. I'll go over the little race information here that we have, and then we're going to bring you back to the wonderful history from Will. So you see here we're in Richmond, Virginia. Current temperature of the track is 84 degrees. The weather outside itself is 75 degrees. Humidity 44%. It is overcast with a 5-mile-per-hour wind. They are a fixed setup league. They do run 70% fuel. These drivers do get one fast repair. And in the booth tonight is myself, Brian, and then Will. Good evening, Will.
Good evening, Brian.
How's it going here tonight?
Fairly decent, can't complain.
Hey,
pretty good, you know.
Yes, sir. Anyway, Will, the wonderful history of Richmond.
Yes, Richmond Raceway. Just, 3/10 of a mile track, or just over a half mile, however you would like to word it, you know. The action track here tonight, Brian, made famous, throughout the years by several different races, throughout the course of time. One of the famous races back in the 80s, I believe it was 86, the Earnhardt-Waltrip get together right as they're going into turn 3. Kyle Petty goes on to win that race. This was just a half-mile track, just at a half mile. Then they reconfigured it in 82, I believe, to what we know today, the 3/10 of a mile track. And it has always produced great racing. I've always thought I love watching races at Richmond. Yesterday's race was pretty. It was a typical, almost NASCAR race in this current era. But 7/10 of a mile track, I should say. So. It's always been a great track. It's been around since, let me see here, opened in 1946, so 77 years of operation, Brian, that this track has been in existence. Lights, if I'm not mistaken, Lights was originally incorporated in 92. I want to say 92. I think it's 92. But it was originally a dirt track. Another one of the tracks, as we know, a lot of tracks, Brian, on the NASCAR schedule or on the NASCAR circuit originally used to be dirt tracks, right? North Wilkesboro, Richmond. I want to say Martinsville was a dirt track at one time, but a lot of these tracks used to be dirt tracks, so then they get paved over and turned into a pavement track, and still able to still be functioning and operating. So always great to see.
Yes, sir, indeed. I agree with you. But I know there is one driver that we're going to be keeping a close eye on tonight. Is a Honeycutt. Honeycutt's been fast. I did do a race with him yesterday here at Richmond. He's been very quick. He's been up front. So
Richard Petty holds the record with most wins here at 13. Richard Petty and Bobby Allison is tied with the most poles at 8. Richard Petty, most laps completed, 21,135. Let me see here. Bobby Isaac has the highest average start at 3.7. Wow. On this configuration from 1988 to present, I guess it was reconfigured in 88, my apologies. We have for the Cup Series, Kevin Harvick, I do believe it says here. So Christopher Bell in the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill in the Truck Series. So I believe you have the starting grid, Brian. Like you said, Honeycutt is going to be one to watch, but everyone, I believe, is going to be one to watch as well.
yes, sir. Says to see here, Ryan Honeycutt P1. Hold on.
I don't see Ryan Honeycutt P1 in your contacts.
Jesus. Anyway. Sorry about that. Anyway, Ryan Honeycutt P1. P2 would be Joseph Madigan. P3 would be Jason Taylor. P4 would be Will Roberts. Not the Will Roberts up here with me. A different one. P5 would be Brian Baker. P6 would be Adam Bolton. P7 would be Randy Sample. P8 would be Josh Farmer. P9 would be Antonio Bonani. P10 would be John Neckrich. P11 would be Greg Elliott. P12 would be Keenan Miller. Excuse me, my apologies. P13 would be Michael Cochran. P14 would be Sean O'Brien. P15 would be Chris Ostrander. P16 would be Kevin Trzynski. P17 would be Avery McDonald. P18 would be Aaron Spear. P19 would be Clint Collins. P20 would be Jonathan Mazzella. And P21 will be Michael Carter.
Actually sure if Mazzella's actually going to grid or not. I got word from Avery that he broke his collarbone, collarbone, so I'm not 100% sure if he's actually gridding or not, Brian, so... But now we're rolling here for the warm-up lap, or laps for tonight's race here, so... Tires is going to be a key factor here this evening, Brian. 97, about 95, 97 laps on a full tank here this evening that I got told by the driver, so do trust them. And but tires will be the main key factor here this evening. Going to have to see if they're going to be able to make it to, even 50 laps or 60 laps, on a good run with the tires. Tires here can be critical, just as they can be at, say, Bristol or any other short track for that matter.
Yes, sir, indeed. I agree with you. Sorry, I'm just adjusting things.
Good. So these guys ready to go, getting their tires warmed up, hopefully enough to...
Flag is out.
Looks like Honeycutt might have spun his tires coming off of the corner there, Brian. for the initial start, and oh no, I think he saved it. I don't think the caution came out. No, caution did not come out for that half spin.
No, sir, it didn't, as there's still green here. You see Madigan gets on by. Honeycutt here will, very slick track for sure, 200 laps.
Oh, that was the 24 of Sample. Randy Sample got loose off of turn number 2. Yeah, very slick track, depending on the temperature, but regardless of the temperature, that's going to, heat up the track and make it slick here this evening. Madigan currently leading Honeycutt after Honeycutt slipping the tires on corner exit.
Yes, he is. Oh, there goes a 35. Oh, man.
Oh, Avery runs into the passenger side door. Oh, and Randy runs into Avery.
Oh, and he backs into him again.
That was Bonini in the 35 getting, I don't know if he got kicked out or what happened, but we're going to get a replay here of what happened. So coming down the front straightaway, going to be barreling into turn 1. Does he get touched and send him up the track to make him lose this car? We're about to see here. He could just lose it under, he could have overdrove the corner, then trying to back up the exit, but I think the car just starts to get away from him as he's slowing up for the corner, possibly, Brian, and trying not to plow over the competitor in front of him. And the car's just, it's just one of those long slides, kind of similar to the Daniel Suarez. I believe it was Daniel yesterday in the Cup race, had a long slide like this. But unfortunately, Bonini's going to get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we do have a fast repair here.
That we do. Sorry, it just messages.
No, you're good. So, barnacles. I do believe Greg Elliott is the defending winner of this race and also the defending champion of the series. So he's trying to, in a way, go back to back at Richmond.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be, but I was asking him what his chances were to go back to back, and he just kind of chuckled at me. So you never know, Brian. He's like, you got to see, there's a lot of good guys here, a lot of fast competitors. So do have to agree with him on that.
So as you see here, well, they are lined back up. We're going to get ready for the green flag to come back out here. And green flag is out. Madigan with a great start. He didn't have that Denny Hamlin jump roll.
All right.
But there's Will Roberts in that 78 machine there. So 10 laps in. Got 190 laps to go. And yes, Marzella's out. Sorry to hear about that. Wishing you a speedy recovery, and hopefully we'll see you back out on the track in the future.
Yeah, I've cracked my collarbone, so I could just imagine the pain of breaking collarbone. My mother broke her shoulder, so I understand a wee bit about all that. I've broken a hand and a wrist, so I understand about breaking something along those lines. So it's painful, I can imagine.
Oh yeah. The only surgeries I had was really gallbladder out, knee surgery. So
Yeah, I had metal pins stuck in my wrist to realign my wrist with my hand. Getting on board now with Greg Elliott, going into turn 3 here as he's navigating the course.
this is a good old rhythm track. So
Yeah, Richmond's all about rhythm. If you don't have rhythm, if you're not good at rhythm, you're not going to run good at Richmond or any other good rhythmic track for that matter. You got to have good rhythm. Avery coming. Yep. Coming out of the pits, trying to ail his injured car. I thought we had fast repairs, but maybe he just didn't want to use it at this moment, Brian. Excuse me. As you see, some drivers are just a bit loosey-goosey getting into turn 1 and 2, and maybe a bit twitchy into 3, but we will see a bit of sliding off the corners once they get a little bit further into the run.
if and when they can get there, like I said, lift points are different. So
this is exactly one of those tracks where everybody's lift point is for sure going to be different, and maybe having to just let it roll a little bit more through the corner. Oh, as we see the 82 getting loose off of turn number 2. We saw him he was getting loose on corner entry multiple times. That's the 82 of Miller. No caution for that incident because he was off the racing surface below the painted line, so we know iRacing don't really like to make those calls once they get off the racing surface. I like the Milwaukee Tools paint scheme.
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
That one really pops, that's for sure.
A lot different. So
I've seen Milwaukee Tools on like sports cars, like on Porsche Cup cars, on like a KTM crossbow or however you call those things. They have like a clamshell opening to where the drivers get in and out of the car.
yes, sir.
Looks pretty cool on sports cars and looks pretty cool on a stock car. I know most of these are like made up paint schemes and whatnot, but look pretty nice.
Oh, some contact made by the 8 and the 3.
Yes, Elliott and Baker going at it. That is 9th and 10th position.
You ever see so slightly that Krasinski is starting to reel in that 42 and the 3 and the 8. So this is going to determine who's got the long run car and who has got the short run.
Yeah, I feel like though we're still in that short run to medium run field. We still, like he said, if it stays green, it will most certainly determine who has the long run capability. But we for sure still haven't got there yet to a decent run. We're only 23 laps in. We've had one caution early. It was what was it? Lap 8. We had that caution. Lap 6, something like that. So.
Yes, sir.
Richmond, you kind of expect a few cautions at Richmond. Nothing, I don't expect nothing too crazy as if we were say at Martinsville or somewhere like that where you can definitely have a lot of cautions, but.
But now Honeycutt ever so slightly is starting to reel back in Madigan.
Yes, he is. And Roberts,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say Roberts is still in that third position, just lingering there. Taylor in fourth position. And then there's about 2 seconds back to O'Brien in fifth position. So almost a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field, almost. Just a 3-car, kind of, but...
Two Fords and a Yoda.
Almost looks like Roberts has the most, straightest drive off the corner besides Madigan. Honeycutt gets a real good, drive off of turn 4, but each end of this track is vastly different, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're the same degree of banking in the turns. I think they're a little bit different. Lap traffic is going to be key whenever they get to that point. The other question is going to be who has better tire wear in the longer run.
14 degrees of banking. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 8 degrees on the front stretch, 2 degrees on the back straightaway. So, but just how turn 4 kind of just, it feels like it narrows up on the exit, or you kind of feel like you can kind of keep turning because because the front straightaway isn't straight. So turn 2 actually feels like it narrows up on corner exit, right? Because you just how the racing line progresses out towards the wall. But turn 4, you just feel like, oh, okay, well, I got to keep turning, but you have to make that progression onto the straightaway. Sometimes you'll get tight, go up towards the wall, like you kind of just saw Roberts do on corner exit there. But anyway, Brian, like you were going to say, yeah, like you talked about, who is able to manage their tire wear the best out of the entire field. Looks like the front 4 at the moment are doing a decent job at it, but we're only about 25 laps into this run, Brian. I know it's a heat cycle on the tires. I don't believe anybody pitted there under the first caution. I could be wrong, but it looks like, everybody's progressing pretty good on this heat cycle of tires. The word progression is my word of the night, apparently.
I would say so. See there, Honeycutt starting to slide the rear wheel in that 51 machine. That is that hard charging off the turns to full throttle. Sorry, boy. I'm still trying to recuperate from that documentary.
Yeah, it's a real good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, there you go, Judge.
But looks like the 12 is a bit under attack from the 8 of Elliott, even though Elliott looks like he's lost a couple of positions. Cochran has got past up into the 9th position. He was 11th, so he's got past the 8 and the 8 and the 3. Excuse me, I'm trying to just go up the number ladder there. But now you have Kevin. He is still outside the top 10. He's still knocking at the door of the top 10, but just a little bit back further here, looking, and Randy under attack from, who is that? Randy Sample and, oh, that's Chris. Chris and Randy having a go-to battle right behind them.
There's Sample there. And you got the 73 of Ostrander there. So 40 laps in. Will love this 200 lapper here tonight. Oh, side by side here from the 24 and the 73. As the 24 rides the outside lane, 73 is still to the inside of that 24. But can he get clear of him here coming? Yes, he will. That answered my question. And now 24 is looking to go back to the inside of that 73. Getting tight, pushing up a little bit. Still able to maintain that 24 Chevy machine, Will.
Yes, indeed. Randy working the bottom lane at the moment. But Chris really trying to get that momentum around the high side. It's very quite possible here, very plausible.
Bum, bum. Let's see if I can. There we go. You see there, well, the track temp is 86 degrees. Wind is 6 miles per hour. The weather outside is 78 degrees. '73 is still trying to get back to the 8. But the 8 seems like he's got a good entry there. I think it's the good run off. As Madigan now has a 3.5, almost 4-second lead over Honeycutt, Will.
I guess it could be safe to say that maybe Madigan is going to be the one to beat here this evening. You know, still early days. You know, we're only 47 laps in, about to be 50 laps into this race. Roberts and Taylor having a battle as they were closing in on Honeycutt up here for this, second position here between Taylor and Honeycutt. So just behind Madigan. epic battle going on for second and third.
Hit that wall there. Oh, there goes Honeycutt. Oh, man.
Yes, that was the top, what was that, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all up there. And I do believe caution is out. Yes, indeed it is. So Honeycutt just gets a bit squabbly off of corner exit here, right behind Taylor. They both have almost an identical line going into the corner, and I'm not sure if too much dirty air has a part to play in this or not, because it's Richmond, but it still could be dirty air. But just coming off the corner here, there will be a bump that you can hit if you hit it wrong coming out of turn number 2 here at Richmond. It will upset the car, and the 65 just nowhere to go. And the 66 nowhere to go either. And Honeycutt's going to hit. Is he going to hit? I don't think he hit. Well, Taylor had to back up in his pit box. So does Roberts. So that's going to be a long stop for those guys right there. So at lap 48, we have our second caution of the evening. I believe it was 48 or 49. One of those two laps. Second caution of the evening. So we had about a good 44, 46 laps green after our first caution of the evening.
Yes, sir. I think Adam did stay out, I do believe.
Yes, he did. Madigan lost some positions under these pit stops, possibly having to do the same thing that a few others had to do back up in their pit stall. So it's a transition from asphalt to concrete pit boxes, as a lot of these racetracks do have the concrete pit stalls. So you will possibly somewhat lightly slide, and making you have to back up ever so gently and slightly. So as we see Roberts losing some track positions, and a few others losing track position from where they were inside the top 5. They're no longer inside the top 5. I think Adam wanted to lead a lap there, get a bonus point for leading a lap, Brian, so that could be why he stayed out.
That is a very good possibility. Well, hopefully Farmer has a better run today. I know.
Yeah, Farmer's been getting caught up in a couple of a lot of incidents is not of his own making. He's been the runner-up for the past 2 seasons, so he really needs to try to get some good momentum on his side, like you were talking about.
Then 2 weeks ago was a rough go for him, that is for sure.
Rocking that Van Halen paint scheme. So everybody's doubled up, ready to go back green. Looks like Taylor's going to pick the outside lane here. See how that will fare for him.
As these drivers get ready to take the green flag again, Will. And the green flag is out. A good run by the 44 and the 76. Well, gets them out there. Ho, Trzynski. car off in the grass? That's Kevin.
Yes, Kevin. Don't know if he's going to be able to save it, point it back straight or not.
Oh! Man.
Oh, that's Madigan, I do believe. Yes, it is. And this is going to be a big crash going into turn 3. It started coming out of 2, but
another one loose. Oh, and a jump. There's your caution.
Finally coming out here. You've got a couple of drivers instantly trying to tow it back to the pits.
Let me rewind that. So you see here, Neckrich was on the outside. He realized that Madigan did get a little loose. Well, underneath it had some contact with the 44. And then he gets loose up there, the 65. Yep, Madigan's down there. Neckrich just nowhere to go, Will, and clobbers the 65 there. Very unfortunate for him. And more utter chaos happens behind him. Go back and see what happened with the 8 here. So as you see here, he was 5th in line. As he sees Madigan made contact with the 44, gets a little loose. 65 also gets loose coming off the turn. Madigan just, Elliott just nowhere to go and gets shunted by the 42. Just like that. Sent to the inside wall like that. Oh, that's just a hard lick from the 8 car.
Very hard lick.
And then the 3 just barely can get slowed down. And then he gets into the back of the 66. Will Roberts gets on by, and that was just a big log jam, Will. Very unfortunate for the 8. Not too sure if he... Yeah, so that would be the first crash with the 8, so he can go ahead, pull into the pits, get that car fixed up, take that fast repair. And now, Will, do you become conservative with just riding around, or you know what you're capable to do, and do you risk it and then just keep running the way you were running just to get back up towards the front?
Well, with a little bit of the caution breeding cautions at the moment, second or third caution shortly after getting done working the second caution here, you kind of just want to get a feel for how the race is going to go back green, play out, hopefully get back into a good rhythmic run, get some momentum going, and hopefully just start logging the laps again, right, Brian? Because like we talked about, it's all about that conserving the tires here this evening at Richmond, and just trying to get a fuel run out of the tires if you can. So it's awfully difficult. I would just want to try to get back into the mindset, get back into the rhythm of what I was doing before these couple of cautions came out, right? So green flag about to be back in the air.
Well, as you see here, the lights are going to kick on pretty soon. So these drivers will be racing under the lights. So Taylor with a good start there. Oh, Trzynski. Oh, there goes Kevin again on the getting loose there. Oh, there goes the 76 of Madigan. What a save. Good job by Madigan there. That is a bad spot to get loose at, that's for sure.
Extremely great. Great car control by Madigan, you know, to be able to catch it like he did. Evan having more problems in the back a little bit further before the Madigan spin, so Kevin still... Oh, man, Baker.
A hard lick. Hate to see it for Baker. He said, the heck with it, I'm still going to keep driving. That was NASCAR. That's a yellow flag. NASCAR, obviously. But 73 of Ostrander, well, hovering that P10 mark at the moment. Under attack by Miller and Sphere. So, I do see a lot of these drivers getting a little bit tight off the turns forward, well, coming up to that wall, making some contact with that outside retaining wall there, so. Oh, Will Roberts. Oh, Honeycutt goes around. Oh. Man. Oof, that is rough. Which brings out the fourth caution of the night. Caution number 2 for Honeycutt. As he goes in a turn there, he sends the 78. Which goes around there. The 76 takes advantage of it. Gets on by him. 51 does try to come down after slowing down so much to 65. Coming with a full steam there and just gets to the rear end of that 51 machine wheel and sends him on around for a loop. But as you see there, not locking the brakes down, sliding back up into Bolton there. So, very unfortunate for Bolton and unfortunate for Honeycutt too as well, Will.
Yeah, so unfortunate for all these fast competitors getting caught up in this. You know, just... It is very troublesome sometimes just trying to get through the center of the corner or corner off, corner exit, you know, so to speak. And Richmond, very, very difficult track to try to master or even try to race at. So...
Richmond could put on a good race. Sometimes it'll be a caution breeding caution type of night too as well, Will. But that's the nature of the beast at Richmond, and we know how that goes. So. So Taylor wins the race off of pit road, then Farmer, then Madigan, then Cochran, then Roberts, then O'Brien, then Ostrander, then Miller, Sample, and Spear. Well, that will be the top 10 after cycling out of the pits. I don't want that. There we go. I don't want this. 75 of 120 in the books. So far, a very interesting race. For sure. As they get lined up to get ready to take the green flag again. Well, I think if you have the clean air, you seem to do all right. Once you're caught in that dirty air, it gets a little sketchy, and pushing that dirty air on front of the car doesn't work out too well. Battling loose and tight conditions too as well as being in that. The difference between clean air and dirty air. You see here, Taylor is going to lead it back to green here. Just like that, the green flag is out. See this debacle back here. Oh no, there's a 12 again. Another save by the 12.
Kevin's third time being the Richmond Lawn Care Service.
Hey, that just looked like he had some dirty air pushed on that back of that car, and just sends it all around. That's for sure. You see, there's 73 trying to get under the 42. Oh, the 77. Oh, man. Fifth caution of the night. 77 gets a little loosey-goosey there. And around he goes. You see here, getting ready to cross the start finish. Going into turn 1. Oh, he crossed it already. Going into turn 1. Probably gets on the brakes a little bit. The rear steps out. Don't know if he's in downshift into 4th. And then it just says, nope, I shall see you later. Look at that battle ball in front of him, boy. Unfortunate for that 77 there. '81 of 200 in the books. Question is, when do you pit? Do we come in on the halfway mark if there is a caution? Or do we stay out for as long as we can on the set of tires? I forgot how many sets of tires they get. I'm sure they get unlimited sets of tires. We'll have to get him to let us know that information too as well. Is
Can't
it
you have
what?
like a little race? Can't you pop up like the race session info or like something like in this from the session?
I can.
It should say how many tires sets they have allocated, right?
Okay. Unlimited sets of tires.
I'm glad you could read that. That's super duper quickly fast. Okay. Of course, you know what you're looking for. I was trying to look for it, and you're like, okay, yeah, they have, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, sure.
So unlimited sets of tires, it's like pretty much boys have at it type of deal. Tires is not an issue at all. How would it send it if you got it? So that's one thing that these drivers in the AMS Cup Series don't have to worry about. Well, they can come in every pit, get new freshies every time. There's no restrictions on how many sets of tires you get, unlike the B&R side of things where we cap each series with a certain amount of tires. So just like that, I do believe the Yankees go 2-0. Yes. For all you Yankees fans, we did pull the sweep over Houston. For some of you guys who aren't Yankees fans and Houston fans, I am sorry. But anyway, well, we get rid of the comeback green here. Madigan is the leader.
Yes, Madigan back in the lead after having some woes and troubles and struggles. Farmer, too, is outside. Taylor will be restarting in third. O'Brien in fourth.
And the green flag is out. Anyway, before we get our next caution, if we ever do. Anyway, well, next week they go from one short track to the next, which is Martinsville. That's going to be a doozy of a race.
Staying in the state for lovers, right? So.
Boy, I hate driving through. It gets boring until you hit the city of Richmond. And then you got all these nice sceneries, whatever, and all that, so. See there, Madigan second, as you got a tight battle there with Honeycutt and Taylor. I noticed Honeycutt is a very aggressive hard charger. You see the 73 goes around there, makes some slight contact to the inside wall there. But that will not bring out the caution wheel. iRacing said he is not on the racing circuit, so we are going to keep this green. Oof, I don't know if that was a
Moment or that was, yeah, absolutely. Wasn't sure if that was a moment, a bobble, or what, but Madigan did kind of swerve in the middle of the back straightaway. Maybe just trying to get some more heat into the tires or something to that effect, Brian, but
some onboard telemetry for those who are watching. There we go.
that became perfect.
What happened?
Telemetry, Brian.
I got it.
Yes. It's not telemetry. Never mind. I keep trying to pronounce it like you do. I will actually pronounce it like you will.
Hey, that's all right. So roughly 134 going into the turn, you see there of Cochran. So and turn one is like 140. So you can see the difference after going into turns 3 and 4, and then coming off of 4 going into 1. You carry a lot more speed from 4 going into 1. '93 at 200 laps complete here tonight. Craig Elliott 7 laps down Wilson. McDonald 6, Baker 2, Neckrich 1. So the track temp did drop about 5 degrees, Will, because the last time we checked it was 86 degrees, but it is now 81 degrees in track temp, so a big difference from earlier on until now. Oh, someone got a little loosey-goosey back there. That was Adam. Ever so slightly closing in on halfway to go. Lights are on the track. We're getting ready to take this race into the nighttime, where I think the track temp is going to ever so slightly cool off even more. Probably, roughly, I would probably say, Will, about in the mid-70s, maybe. Which is a pretty cool track temp. Anyway, Will, 2 laps. They will be halfway here tonight from Richmond. Martinsville's going to be interesting. They now halfway mark of 99 laps to go. I know it ever feels so much very long. Now that we hit this mark, we're going to do our favorite section of the night while they are cool, calm, and collective at the moment. Hopefully no slippage and whatever else. We're going to bring you to the sounds of short track racing here tonight for quite a few laps of Richmond, and we're right on board with a few drivers, and we'll let you guys enjoy the sounds of Richmond. Currently Taylor in P4, Farmer P3, Honeycutt P2. Madigan's still your leader. After taking that restart, Madigan just seems to set sail from there. Clean air, it's got the advantage, and it just seems like nobody can really get caught up to him. So
No, indeed, they cannot, Brian. He has really good really good pace in clean air. We saw him get kind of trapped back in the dirty air a little bit earlier in the race after, what was it, the second or I think it was the third caution, right? So
yes, he was
yeah, he was really slipping and sliding in the traffic, but now that he's back out in the clean air, he's able to maintain a gap from him to Honeycutt. It's still early in this run too. I do want to speculate. Almost to a medium point in the run, but still early enough that Honeycutt is still a second and a half gap back to Madigan. Farmer, like you said, in third position, Taylor fourth, O'Brien. Big battle further back that we're looking at. This is just outside the top 10. It was Spear, Miller, yes. And then up here in the top 5 area, you have Taylor, O'Brien, Cochran. That's a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Farmer, Taylor, O'Brien, and Cochran. Michael Cochran in the 42. Michael choosing to change up his paint scheme here this week, not running the same old. Found that Milwaukee paint scheme, like we talked about earlier.
Which I dig. Always good to run a different paint scheme, you know. I try to switch it up on Saturdays, but I'm very limited to my selection. So.
Oh, you're not limited. You're just a Truex fan.
Well, I mean, it's either Bass Pro Shops, Auto Owners, or New State Batteries at the moment.
You can always run the old Reese's or whatever, that ice cream or like custard or whatever.
The Reese's thing.
Yeah, you can always run those.
It's for the old body, and it won't line up with the new Toyota bodies. So.
You should find like a Tide paint scheme or something.
I've been looking. Caution's out.
Oh boy. Oh, excuse me.
Something happened to Elliott after getting that car all fixed up. Maybe a little loosey-goosey going into one. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Oh no. Oh man.
Yeah, I just had a hospital twitch, really.
But well, pit lane is going to be super busy now. And they are just about that 75 lap mark, so.
So no fuel should be a concern at this point, but tires, Brian, could always be a concern.
Yes. Oh, I think Honeycutt slid through his box a little bit there. That's going to hurt as we get ready to watch the race off pit road, Will. You see there, Madigan's first. 44, 46, 51, 65, 42, 78, 24, 35, 77, 12, 82, and so on. Boy, trying to get all that as fast as I did.
You start with about, I think it'll be 72 to go, Brian, when we get the green flag. It's either going to be 73 or 72. Probably 72.
Yeah, I think it probably will be. I think this was the distance of the actual NIS that I had ran on
Makes sense
on
because the
Sunday.
real life race was 400 laps. So that would make sense. I thought you ran it on Sunday.
Didn't I say Sunday or what did I say? Saturday?
Yeah, you said Saturday.
I believe Saturday I was at New Hampshire.
Yes, you were.
But
You were kind of being a bowling ball. I mean, what?
a little bit.
No, that was Caleb being the bowling ball.
Yes.
I'm
But
kidding.
but
He
Madigan
thought
back
Jaden
up.
was a bowling pin.
Yeah, he was trying to go for a strike. But but Madigan
See, I can
will
joke about all that stuff now.
exactly because it's done and over with. That has been handled, and now we can throw it out there. But Madigan is back to the front. I want to say Neckridge got his lap back, so now Neckridge welcomes back to the lead lap. Now Oscar,
15 cars on the lead lap, mind you. So we still have a good bit of Yes, we still have a good bit of the field still on the lead lap, even though we've had quite a few gnarly wrecks here this evening.
some are vicious, like vicious. But yet again, it's the nature of the beast here at Richmond. So Madigan is going to take the outside line again, Will.
Well, I think truly on restarts, at least on short tracks and any sim, iRacing, even on the console days, if you had to do manual restarts, outside lane always seemed to be the way to go. Or if you, like some of the old NASCAR games on 360, you could choose, if you were the leader, which lane you wanted to restart in. So, you did have lane choice, right? So, and you still do it iRacing, so.
But a start by Madigan gets a good start. As we watch him come out of turn. Oh, well. With a little loosey-goosey there. Honeycutt ever so slightly back to Madigan. As lately we've seen, it's been a Ford show. Oh no! Farmer! Enmore!
Yeah, Roberts. Well, like you said, and more. No pun intended if Brandon Moore is out there listening to us. Or Austin. Barney's gonna be probably feeling like Mazzella at the end of this race. So getting a replay here.
Synchronized sideways. Enmore behind him.
I think the stream on Discord is slow this evening. Yeah, you're right. They just went into the corner as if there was rain on the track, Brian.
That's what it looked like.
It's like the front three in front of them were perfectly fine, but then fourth and fifth were like, we're going to go for a hoed down. I mean, it looked like there was oil on the track or something. I don't mean to laugh or nothing. I'm sorry. It's not funny when someone's race may get ruined, but just whenever the first three get into the corner fight, and then fourth and fifth are like, whoa, hold on a minute,
I just realized Taylor's icon. If you watch the stream, it is a double fist bump stormtrooper.
Well, throw his icon up there. Let me see it.
It's right there in his in car. Oh, you missed it.
Oh, in the in car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a stormtrooper, holding a wheel. Actually.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's cool. is that like his pit board sign too?
I believe so. Yeah.
So like whatever your emblem is like is like your pit sign, right?
Yeah, you can customize all your. So with
So you could have stormtroopers as like a pit crew, right?
there are outfits for it. Yes.
Oh, dude, I want iRacing so bad. I've always wanted iRacing.
So
Like it's yes. Anyway, enough of that.
no, you're right. So when you customize your, well, I really wouldn't say customize the paint, but you can re. I don't know if he makes his own, but you can customize your pit sign. So you can take whatever it originally is and then switch it to whatever you want. But obviously, when you got a big group of cars and you come to a short track like this, kind of hard to see where your pit signs are. So if there's a lot of people running a white pit sign, it's going to be difficult. But that's the one thing good about iRacing. You can put anything on a car, upload it, boom, there you go. Put it on the car, go out there and run it. So a lot of things you can do. So iRacing is a very good platform. Sometimes, you know, it can be rough, absolutely will, in some league races, some officials. You hear us over on the B&R side, just hanging out, doing a couple of races here and there, and you know how frustrating it gets. It's just, you know.
Oh, I have watched many iRacing races, whether it be through commentating or just watching streamers like stream it from their point of view, or other leagues streaming their races, and it just makes me feel a little bit glad that I'm in the broadcast booth and no longer a driver, because I drove competitively for over 10 years, Brian, and it just makes me glad to, like, I do have the itch or the nerve of wanting to still race. Yes, I still want to compete.
Leaning on the car. Oh, whoopsie! That is why we don't lean on cars on restarts like that.
Well, that's going to take out a quarter of the field right there, isn't it?
But yeah, it took out Josh Farmer again.
I believe he just repaired his car, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, man. He's going to be one angry farmer.
Oh, hold on, wait. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. That was the last one.
Yes, that was the last one.
Here it is, right here. So we see right here, well, he starts coming down.
It looked like Honeycutt was doing an MTJ maneuver almost. Like he was trying to just get down as close to Madigan as he could. And like you said, they made contact, and that's why you don't want to lean on each other on the restarts, because if you spin the tires, you're just going to ricochet off the car next to you into the wall. And man, oh man, O'Brien there gets involved. Roberts, no, that's not Roberts. That's that's the 82 of Miller.
Very unfortunate there. Madigan's probably like, why are you leaning on me? It happens. It's the best of your short track doozy here, but you see quite a few drivers coming into the pits. .61 laps to go. Eighth caution of the night. Well, I think they'll put Ostrander back on the lead lap. As long
I think I might have jinxed these guys whenever I said, earlier in the race, I said, sometimes these races can go with just a few cautions. Richmond is a place where you can get some good green flag running in, and then, I just seem to be jinxing all the broadcasts I've been doing here recently. I feel that, but then again, there's a part of me that don't believe in jinxes and superstitions, but deep down, I want to believe, Brian. I want to believe.
Unless you're Denny, but
Right.
so 60 laps to go. They're ever so slightly getting there. Shooby-dooby-doo. Play results. And the green flag's out, Will.
Yes, green flag back out in the air for the total of the, what is that, the 10th time of asking if you count the initial green flag, I do believe. Or 9th time. What was that, 9th? Yes, 9th time.
Let's see, Will.
Oh, Will. Well, he was able to save it, but he's going to lose a handful of positions there. Yes, Tyler, 8 cautions so far this evening, but it could be worse. I believe Shake and Bake had quite a few, but I think they were on 6 whenever I tuned in over there, Brian, before I got into our stream. They were on either 5 or 6, so I don't know how many they finished with. But hey, it being Richmond and we're 144 laps in, it could be worse. It could be 20 at Martinsville,
Caution is out.
Oh! Michael Cochran getting up, going, like I talked about, the corner exit of turn number 2, how it narrows up towards the wall, but Randy Sample was there on corner exit, and Van Halen machine gets snuffed into the wall because, just off the live look at it, it looked like Michael probably thought he was clear or something to that effect, and off the corner exit just has it coming together with the 24 of Randy. Yeah, Randy's working the bottom really well, and oh yeah, I don't know what else you want to call that, Brian, besides I thought I was clear, and I'm walking up the track thinking I'm clear, and into the left front fender of the 24 I go. Like I said, I don't know what else you want to call that.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Will.
Because he's just coming up off, and unless he gets tight off a corner exit and the car travels there, which that could have happened too, but it just looked like a case of, man, I got into the corner so good, I'm getting through the corner, I'm going to clear Randy by the time I get off the corner, I'm not even going to be worried about Randy being to my outside, right? So that was definitely not the case there. So 9th caution of the evening. In a way, I almost don't see why this was a caution, but the car was completely sideways in the track. So maybe iRacing was just like, oh well, yeah, let's throw the old bird out. So getting a good cockpit view, and yeah, just you don't really see a correction made by Randy on corner exit. So that is Randy's line coming out of the corner. You don't see a jerk in the wheel or pivot back to the right. So just a mistaken of, hey, I thought I was clear. That's the best way I see that. I don't know how else to see that, but
That's just very unfortunate for that 42.
and the 24.
Oh yeah. Now, I'm not
Especially the
sure.
24. I feel like Randy got more damage out of that than
He did.
Michael.
Oh, of course he did. I'm not sure if these drivers run multiple screens or some of them are just maybe a single screen. If you're on a single screen, it's very difficult to tell whether there's someone to your outside. If you have the triple screens, you can see all around you. So, or maybe the spotter didn't catch it in time, and he just might have moved up anyway. But anything is possible. We're not too sure about it. So only speculation is our favorite word. So 50 laps to go. When I see Ostrander, I think of Auslander, the Rammstein song.
Yes.
Every time. Every time. Anywho.
Right, so out on the pace car, we are getting ready to go back. Green Madigan to the outside. Farmer back to the inside. He's been in the wars this evening. Gavin Kransky up here in fourth position, along with Neckridge. He is up here. He just got his lap back a couple of cautions ago, Brian, in that 66 machine.
Oh, there they go again. No! Good save, good save. Nope, never mind. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, you spoke a little too soon. Michael getting turned around again here as everybody was checking up, trying to get everybody straight. You have Bonini tagging Ostrander, and they go for a slide, a bobble, a moment, they catch it, and then just more logjam effect occurs. Ostrander comes down on Cochran and sends him for a ride. After Ostrander finally gets it back straight, he pals like a Batman pow, like into Cochran there off a corner exit as he was trying to get that Budweiser machine straightened out.
Cochran would have been okay if he didn't get tagged there, I believe. But because he got tagged, that's what sent him around. Anyway, well, you got Farmer back up to the front. So, and Kevin Trzynski. Kevin must have adjusted the old BB there. He might have found something that's working for him, so good to see him back up towards the front. Hopefully luck will come his way this round. So Martinsville is probably going to be a doozy, Will, so I like calling races at short tracks because sometimes it brings the one of the best racing, at least. So next time by, they will get double fouled up. I wonder when NASCAR is going to put the choose rule in.
You mean iRacing going to put the choose rule in?
Thank you. Oh, I said NASCAR. That's what they're racing now. But anyway, well, tomorrow we head over to the B&R side of things. The Truck Series heads to Kansas. So we'll be back live again tomorrow. I think they line up this time. Yes, they will. Oh, Madigan's going to take the bottom this time. I think every now and then he likes to switch it up. So you see there, Honeycutt's out, Carter's out, and Mazzella. So here we go. Madigan will lead the field back to green. Green flag's out. No, Kevin! Good save.
He went for a good slide, but he caught it back. But he lost a lot of positions as, oh no, the 94.
Had a Kevin moment.
Yes, indeed. He decided to be some lawn maintenance care this evening.
Poor Kevin. Uh-oh. Another traffic jam, Will, coming out of 2 there. See here with the 77. Hold up momentum. Ain't on the brakes hard enough. Oh, man. What a hit. Ever so slightly coming in on 40 laps to go, Will. You see there the 94. Pitting, you got a few pit takers coming now. I do believe Trazinski, Miller, Baker, Bolton, Bonani. What is up, Mike? Nice to see you out here in the Twitch chat tonight. We're calling the race here with the AMS Cup Series. These guys are awesome. Just a little nicked up here tonight at Richmond. You know, Richmond are can be tough on selective things, but it's awesome to have you here. But we're putting on a good show for you guys at home watching. Gives you guys something to do while you guys are relaxing in bed. Me and Will can recommend, if you are a WWE fan, head over to Peacock and check out the
If you have Peacock.
yes, if you do. If you have Peacock, it's a definite must-watch. Check out the Bray Wyatt documentary. It is one of the best WWE documentaries that I've seen, and Will can probably attest to that too as well.
Yes, we're not sponsored by the streaming service Peacock, nor what is the big corporate company WWE or TKO. By no means necessary, but it was a fantastic documentary. I've seen a lot of documentaries about people or things, or anything to that matter of fact, but one of the best documentaries ever.
At the end, it is a very heartfelt moment, so just brace yourself. But anyway,
This is a good question here to pop up to everybody. With some of these drivers coming down, getting a fresh set of tires, are they going to be able to drive up through the field and maybe have something to do with Madigan? Perhaps he's been the class of the field all evening, pretty much a dominant performance when we have had green flag running right. So, what is to be expected with some of these drivers that came down and got a fresh set of tires? We've just seen some drivers struggling trying to keep the car underneath them this evening.
yeah, quite a few struggles, but well, sometimes that does happen. Where am I at here? There we go. And the green flag's back out. Very tight battles going on all around. Oh,
You hear Button trying.
oh no, Button.
Button goes for a wild ride, but he was able to catch it after that wild slide. A lot of movement on the wheel, trying to get it back onto a drivable condition. Those tires could be a wee bit upset with him now, or they could just be at optimal performance. You never can tell. After you swerve around at those type of speeds, they could just be like, all right, I'm hot and ready.
Right. But Madigan.
About to be 30 left to
Oh,
go.
go ahead. Yeah.
No, you're good. Yep, Madigan, Farmer. Our scoring pylon disappeared, Brian, so I don't know any more from that. Oh, Avery and Kevin get into it a little bit. The last lap prior, I did see that though. Yes, it did. It said Alakazam.
Hang on. Get it back. to get this back here. Everything just I'm trying to get it back,
You're good, you're good.
Five laps to go. Come on. Come on, overlays. Giving me a hard time. Showing up there, but I don't know why it's not popping up on the screen. It pops up when I put it in, but I don't know why. I'll just have to go like this so then you can see it all. There you go. So 19 laps to go.
Yes, 19 laps to go. Manigan in the lead. Farmer is a second, and might as well say a second and a half back. Taylor in third position, 2.5 seconds back. He's got O'Brien a little bit breathing down his neck. Then we have a big battle. Where's that battle at? That is 8th, 9th, 10th, and so on back. Everybody trying to claw their way into the top 10. But there's only 10 positions.
You see there the 3 of Baker almost got to the back of that 77 there, Spear. Had to use a little bit more brake than what was needed. So. Laps to go. 15 now.
73 of Austrians is doing a fantastic job maintaining that 8th position, keeping everybody at bay behind him. Spear, Baker, and so forth behind him. We have Bonini. We have Kevin in between them. That's a lap down car, the purple and black car. No, no, that was Baker. My apologies.
See there, Trzynski trying to get on by Bonani. Oh, with the 38, with a 35 with a bobble. Comes right up in front of that 3 there. But just Kevin cannot get by him at the moment. He's trying everything in his dagalmighty will to get on by that 3 car of Baker. But how long do you do before your patience runs out? Question. See, the 73 gives a little shove to the 12 going into turns 3 and 4. But I do believe, Will, Trzynski does have a couple lap fresher tires than those who stayed out. So ten laps to go. Oh, a bobble from that 35 of Bonani. You see here the 94 of Adam. You got the 42 trying to go to the inside of that 73. Can't quite get there, Will. Adam is gonna try to make the pass on the outside of that 42 machine. 8 laps to go. Do we see another caution, Will, within the 5 lap mark?
You know, that's a fantastic question. You almost would want to say no, but we were really thinking no last night watching the actual Cup race here at Richmond. But as we all know, late race caution with exactly 2 laps to go, right after Truex got out of corner number 2. With 2 laps to go, caution came out and they had to re-rack them. So anything is possible here at the action track at Richmond. So working about to be 5 laps to go at the stripe. So Madigan, dominant performance of the evening.
Oh, Kevin!
Oh, this could be it. This could definitely be it.
Oh no, there goes 73.
Oh,
He saves it. He saved it. They're like, nope, I just want to get this race done. Don't even.
Farmer and Taylor, they're close, Brian. I know it's kind of hard to go and look at that, but at the moment, I believe Taylor's closing the gap to Farmer, as Farmer's second place run could be coming to an end. Taylor's trying to get to him. Madigan has a 2.5 second lead over this battle for second place. Second and third, the final spots on the podium here this evening.
Can Taylor take that second place from Farmer? We'll just have to wait and see. 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go. Next time by, we'll wave. No, it ain't next time by. It's the next time after that. They will wave the white flag. So yes, Will, next time by, the white flag will fly out here tonight in the AMS Cup Series, brought to you by the B&R Racing Network, here tonight from Richmond. And just like that, Madigan takes the white flag. Taylor applying pressure to the back of the 46 of Farmer, Will. Can the 44 get on by Farmer?
As Farmer had a blinky moment there, but he rejoins now. Manigan takes the checkered flag as this battle, it looks like, going to be Farmer's way. Oh, there's Manigan. So, pretty great race. Only 10 cautions, I do believe, on the evening, right, Brian? So, not too bad. Could have been a lot worse, but it was not. So I still stand by. It was a pretty great race. We saw some good green flag action and a nice dash to the finish, so to speak. Nice little short run to the finish. So Barney can now finally put some ice on his shoulder and wait for the next race. And there's fireworks going off in the distance. Love to see it. So Joseph Manigan is our race winner. Josh Farmer in second place. Jason Taylor in third. Sean O'Brien Jr. fourth. Keenan Miller rounds out fifth position. And our sponsor for the evening, John Neckridge in sixth position. Good drive back for him after being 1 or 2 laps down. Will Roberts, one of my doppelgangers, in seventh position. Brian Baker, he had a heck of a run tonight, being in the wars, in eighth position. Antonio Bonini in ninth position. Aaron Spear in 10th, Adam Botten in 11th, Michael Cochran in 12th, Chris Ostrander in 13th, Clint Collins rounds 14th. Randy Sample, he was another one in the wars this evening, in 15th. Avery McDonald was able to get a handful of his laps back, but he finished 3 laps down this evening. Kevin Troyansky, oh man, after all that preparation weeks ago trying to... Anyway, yes, Kevin finished the 17th. Greg Elliott, 18th. And Ryan Honeycutt, 19th. Jonathan, yeah, that's right, Jonathan didn't start. So Ryan Honeycutt, 19th out of our starters that did start. That is the unofficial results at this moment in time. So I do believe we have our third place runner.
Yes.
Which was
go ahead and...
Jason Taylor.
Yep. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Try to get him going here. We'll go ahead and pull...
Great, Adam.
Jason!
Hey guys.
How's it going, sir?
Oh, that was a best Richmond race I've had all week, so I'm pretty sad about it.
Yeah, I've been in only one when I did the NIS on Sunday. Didn't quite go as expected, but a lot better tonight, I would say. But we all know how Richmond can be, so
We got a bit of green flag running in there. It was pretty good.
oh, absolutely, no and ifs buts about it. A lot better ones that I've seen for sure. So, but anyway, sir, awesome job tonight. Good run. You looked very consistent. So.
Yeah, I think consistency is probably the best word for it. I really didn't have the raw speed of Ryan and Joseph, so I really didn't have their raw speed, and I could match whoever was in front of me. I can't remember who exactly it was. I wasn't paying attention to the scoreboard, I was just trying to run my race. Josh Farmer.
Farmer, yeah.
So I was on pace with him, and I was trying to find a way around and save some tires, save some heat in the tires, so I can attack late in the race, and uh, so that was what I was trying to do.
All right, well done. What would you say tonight was the most difficult part? I don't know if the transition had a lot to do with it, from starting about mid evening to going under the lights. I did know the track did cool down a lot, so I didn't know if that had some factor there. But I noticed that you guys are picking up a little bit more speed. So why don't you go ahead and walk us through maybe the most difficult part of tonight, and then give us a walkthrough of the transitioning.
Yeah, so everybody knows Richmond is extremely loose, so you want to be as straight as you can be coming off the corners. So I was just that was probably about the hardest thing, especially with somebody inside he is coming off the corners and being straight, not pinching him off as bad. And then I think I got into it a little bit with Joseph like that. I think he expected me to be higher, but I was coming off straighter, just a racing deal, and some bad things happened from that. But other than that, I'm transitioning from night to day, just more grip off the corner, so we were able to push the throttle down a bit heavier off of 3 and 4. So that's that's always good when you can do that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Everybody knows that this track is a rhythm track, so you sure did have the rhythm going in. So, sorry.
Absolutely. No worries. I appreciate you guys doing your work for us. I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast. I'm pretty sure it was really good, and I do every week, so can't wait for that. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to the admins for putting on the league. Thanks to my teammate Sean O'Brien Jr., who is behind me tonight. He had a pretty solid race too. Yeah, thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
One last thing before we let you go. What is going to be your expectations going into Martinsville next week?
I think substance induced coma after the race next week is about what's the game plan is.
I like that. I like that. Well, buddy, awesome job on the P3. You had a hell of a car tonight. You were able to get up to where you needed to be, and best of luck to you going into Martinsville.
All right, thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
No problem. There's Madigan. We need.
Not sure if we'll get Farmer. It may be a bit late for Farmer. I'm not 100% sure.
Alright, so then we'll go ahead and talk to your race winner. Madigan, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
How is it going, sir?
Another day, another victory for the OGs.
Alright, well, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, you had a dominant performance here this evening, Mr. Madigan. Just tell us really how is it so maybe it's easy, maybe it's hard. How difficult can it be to have a dominant performance at a track like Richmond?
It's definitely nice to not really have to be on your game at all times. I'm not even trying to be like aggressive with that saying. It's just I honestly feel like staying consistent is the main thing. Week in and week out, you just got to be consistent. You got to not push it too early in the beginning stages of the race, and I feel like that's what a lot of other people make mistakes on, is just pushing the car too hard on a restart, or just trying to get too much out of a situation. So just staying consistent, being patient, and that's really what keeps giving me this time up front, really.
Now, you did get back in traffic a little bit, but no really farther back than I think like fifth or sixth position, something like that, on one of the pit stops. I think it was the second or I think it was the third caution of the evening. You all came down. Some slid through your pit boxes. Some had to back up, so forth. Some of you guys had a long pit stop. That pit stop, anyway, and like I said, I believe you got mired back. No further than I think than sixth, but still, you were back in the traffic. Did the dirty air back there have a role to play with how loose or how slidey you were getting at times? Because I noticed you weren't really, your car wasn't acting like that while you were out in the clean air and the traffic, out front, right, leading. But in the traffic, it seemed like your car was handling different. Was that because of the traffic?
Yeah, one restart. I restarted like back in I think seventh, and
Yeah, seven.
no one kind of fired off right away, and I was right on their bumper.
Right.
I think I took someone low, but there was one restart that I think I started on the outside, or I was a few rows back, nevertheless.
Mhm.
I think everyone kind of blew turn one, kind of moved up the track, and I moved up a couple of rows, but and there was one restart where I started third, and the 44 car just went straight up the track and gave me the lead. So just kind of, I guess I never really ran much in the pack because we had caution after caution, but judging from the few laps I did have back there and from the NAS race yesterday, it definitely plays a factor. That's for sure. If there's just a tiny difference in speed, and you don't have a huge advantage, whether that be tires or whatever. You can't really. It's really difficult to pass. You got to make sure that you're perfect every time, and that's not accounting for them being not making mistakes, essentially. So not even being perfect. So yeah, it definitely plays a factor, but I kind of got lucky a lot of those times.
Yes, Richmond, very difficult track to pass, like you talked about. You almost have to have a mistake from the competitor in front of you. Honeycutt in the 51 seemed to be like the closest competitor of the evening, but he kept having mistakes of his own, so then it just came down to really you trying not to make a mistake for Farmer or someone like him to kind of pounce on that. But you would just, after a few laps, you would just open up your lead, right? So like you talked about, all on just being consistent and just hitting your marks here at Richmond, which can be a lot harder than easier, right? And it's so, talk is so cheap whenever it comes to short track racing. But next week, we're still short track racing, Martinsville. What's the mindset, the preparation going in, basically just all these back-to-back-to-back weeks of short tracks?
Yeah, I think Martinsville more than ever. It's gonna be avoiding the chaos. I know I said that after I think it was one of those races ago. I think after Phoenix maybe. Just saying you got to avoid the chaos. You got to be up front because if you get mired back in traffic, it's not going to end up pretty. So I feel like this next upcoming stretch of races will play out well for me. Yeah, I mean Martinsville. I have an appreciation for every single type of track, especially Richmond. I just like it because of the curved front straightaway. It's unique. Martinsville, you never can kind of take it easy because you always got to be watching your mirrors for the dive bomb. So yeah, hopefully next week we can stay clean and not get blamed for wrecks you didn't cause, like Mr. Honeycutt did. So yeah, I think we're gonna do well next week. Yeah.
Well then, let's all the drama behind the scenes that we kind of get a peek in on. Anyway, like you said, yes, next week it's going to be an exciting race to try to avoid all the chaos and keep up with all the drama that stays within the short track realm. Like you talked about, Joseph, congratulations on the win here tonight, and thanks for talking to us. after the race, and hopefully you carry this momentum forward to Martinsville at way different of a short track, the paperclip. So, go celebrate this win tonight here, Joseph. And like I said, thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, no problem. Hope you guys have a good one.
Hopefully Martinsville's under the lights. That would be.
You got any final thoughts or shout-outs, by the way? I kind of forgot to ask that one.
Yeah, I think it is under the lights. I believe so.
You guys are awesome if it is.
Yeah, I'm praying on that. Avery, get on that one. Just GoPro, Hy-Vee, Napa, everybody behind this Madigan Motorsports team. Honeycutt sucks the day ended prematurely for him. I know he'll be fighting the motorsports board on that one. And you guys, of course, put on a good broadcast. And honestly, I got to give you guys a shout out for being very observant during that race. I was hoping you guys didn't catch me sliding through my box, but apparently you caught that. So.
Wait. The only thing we caught, literally, and I'm going to tell you, the only thing that I saw was when Honeycutt slid through his. That was it.
I saw like 3 or 4 of you guys like simultaneously like slide, and like I saw like 3 of you guys back up at the same time. I'm like, oh, they're having trouble with their stops tonight. They're having to back up, and I'm like, I was mentioning about how like it's a concrete transition, from the pavement to the concrete. How like a lot of the racetracks have that type of pit stalls, right? And
it was like a water slide.
Yeah, exactly. Like you will. If you go back and watch, like Farmer and Roberts have a moment going into turn 1, like you. So like the front 3 get through turn 1, and then Farmer and Roberts, they just slide as if like there was water on the like it looked comical. Okay, like it's the best way to describe it, because you guys navigated it fine, and then they look like the Three Stooges, like slipping, right? But
yeah.
I shouldn't have said it like that, but that's the best way to describe it. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you for that. That's good. Yeah, I thought it was real life Richmond, and there's water on the track. Need to get the jet dryers out.
Right. Anyway, Joseph, congratulations tonight. Dominant performance. Can't wait to see what type of can you can bring to Martinsville. If it's going to be a can of whoop. Anyway, don't know what to expect at Martinsville, like we talked about. So congratulations yet again.
Thank you guys for putting the broadcast down. Hopefully I can see you guys next week and talk to you in Victory Lane.
Yes,
you're kind of like the Brandon Moore over here. Like we have a fella named Brandon Moore over where in Brian's league, and he's all the time trying to jump on the podium to talk to us every night. Like it's something.
Yeah, call me Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right.
Every time I win, it's boring.
Now, I can respect you even more for that, so awesome.
I wish I didn't floor my teammate under caution after the race, but
I am a huge Martin fan, and unfortunately that's just what it is, but
good thing it's insured.
Yes. Hi, buddy. Hopefully we will be talking to you again at Martinsville. A dominant performance by Joseph. Awesome job, buddy, tonight. Carry that momentum into Martinsville and go celebrate this win, buddy.
All right, have a good one. Free Honeycutt.
There you go. Oh, Madigan, you're awesome. By the way, Will, I did fix the...
finally got it back. Our overlays. Hell yeah. Anyway, so we could wrap up the show tonight. We are almost 10 minutes in, Brian. So we would like to thank each and every one of you coming out, cheering on your favorite AMS Cup Series driver, competitor here this evening, on this Monday evening. And looking back at the final results for everyone who has seen out there. So next week, we will be back like we've talked about here at Martinsville, same bat time, bat channel. And tomorrow, being our truck series, just an hour earlier, like normal. Can't remember where we're at there. without
Kansas.
looking. Oh yeah, that's right, Kansas. We're gonna hopefully not. We're gonna hopefully keep the house on the ground. We're not gonna go like the Wizard of Oz. But anyway, yeah.